Moving on to our second criteria, that is consistency with the facts of moral life. When I first mentioned this one, I said, well, exactly what are the facts of moral life? In scientific cases, we'd say that the theory has to be consistent with the facts. That is, if the planets moved in a certain way, the theory has to say that the planets, would be observed in the way that we expect them to. But what are the facts of moral life? We could say that it's, consistent with moral background knowledge. What kind of background knowledge? That is, I think, a little bit about the process. That is, experiences of making moral judgments. That is, the theory should be consistent with how people go about making moral judgments, the process. It should be consistent with the fact that, not only do we make moral judgments, the people make moral judgments, but people disagree with others on moral issues. That is, that should be consistent with whatever we're saying, with our theory. And in fact, when we're talking about subjective theories, egoism, cultural relativism, this might very well be a criticism that I mentioned of cultural relativism, that it looks like people don't disagree with other people on moral issues, but we take that to be the case. Another one is that people are mistaken in some of their moral beliefs. We find ourselves that we're mistaken, and we revise our moral beliefs over time. And another thing is that we're able to try to give reasons for accepting moral beliefs. We can explain why we think they're good, why we think they're bad. So a good theory, a good moral theory, is going to be able to be consistent with all of these things. That is the way we make moral judgments. We sometimes have disagreements on moral issues. We're sometimes mistaken in our moral beliefs, and we're able to explain why we hold the moral beliefs that we do. That is, we would want a theory, a good moral theory, to conform to these criteria, or to all the criteria under this particular criterion for adequacy of moral theories.